Okay, imagine this. You're trapped in a clinic. Doctors are pumping you full of experimental drugs, and every pill you take makes you stronger in one way, but absolutely screws you over in another. That's the chaos of S.E.M.I side effects may include a co-op roguelike demo that just dropped on Steam. Today on PatchSlap, I'm diving into the demo, breaking down what works, what doesn't, and why this game might just be the most unpredictable co-op chaos you'll play this year. So S.E.M.I is developed by Two Horn Unicorn, and the demo hit Steam on September 26, 2025. The full game is planned for November. On the surface it looks like a co-op action roguelike with a surreal sci-fi vibe, but the real twist here is the name. Side effects may include. Every ability comes with a catch. You don't just power up, you also handicap yourself. That constant push, that pull is the heart of the game. It's chaotic, it's frustrating, it's hilarious, and depending on how you play, it can be all three at once. You're playing as a patient inside this bizarre, almost clinic-like type. You're not here by choice, you're here to survive and escape. The game doesn't spend too much time spoon-feeding you lore, but it doesn't have to. The environment, the pills, and the AI-like flavor text you get after a run, it all sells the theme. You feel like a lab rat in someone else's experiment. Even the room design leans into that. Sterile hallways, traps that feel like twisted lab puzzles, and hazards that make you wonder if the doctors want you cured or dead. So, the core gameplay loop is simple on paper but brutal in execution. You and up to 3 other players move through randomized rooms, dodging traps, enemies, and environmental hazards. You shoot, survive, and push forward, but here's the kicker. You're constantly offered experimental pills, and if you want to make progress, you have to take them. That's where the chaos begins. The pills grant you powers, but each one comes with a side effect. It's like gambling with your own survival. Do you take the pill that might make you huge and tanky, knowing it might also slow you to a crawl? Do you pick up laser vision even though it makes your aim go wild? Every choice changes not just your build, but how you and your team function together. It's the unpredictability that makes each run unique. Let's go over some of the powers you'll see in the demo. Bipolar force. For a while you're basically uninvincible and vulnerable, destroying everything, but then the high wears off and you become fragile and useless until resets. A laser. Sounds great, right? A laser cannon in your hands, but the downside is you now aim with 2 sights and only one is real. Good luck lining that up in a bullet storm. Stendhal syndrome. One of the weirder ones. If you look at art in the game, you go hysterical, smashing things around you uncontrollably. It's funny but also dangerous. Alice's syndrome. You randomly shrink or grow. Being giant makes you a tank, but suddenly being tiny can make you hard to control or easier to squish. These are just a few, and the demo limits what you can access, but it's enough to get you hooked. And trust me, in co-op, these side effects don't just affect you, they mess with your whole team dynamic. So what does S.E.M.I get right? The concept, it's brilliant. Powers with downsides isn't new, but here it's the whole game. It forces adaptation. You can't just stick to one build and cast. Every run is chaos and controllable chaos. The co-op potential. Playing with friends is where this shines. It's hilarious when one of you grows into a giant and blocks everyone else, or when your buddy laser visions ends up zapping the team instead of the enemies. It's the kind of game that creates stories you laugh about after. The visuals and the theme. The surreal clinic setting works. The costumes, the animation, the overall vibe. It feels like you're trapped in a bad trip that fits the whole drug side effect theme perfectly. The replayability. Even in the demo, you want to try again. Runs are short, chaotic, and always a bit different. The full game promises even more pills, abilities, costumes, and hazards, which could really expand the replay value. Humor and flavor. The game doesn't take itself too seriously. The names of the conditions, the post-run medical reports, the absurdity of the side effects. It's funny, and it's known it's funny. But it's not all smooth sailing. There are definitely things the devs need to improve. Balance issues. Some side effects are so punishing they basically ruin your run. If you get unlucky, you're not adapting, you're just stuck. Balancing is key here. Visual clutter. In some rooms, the chaos can get overwhelming between bullets, hazards, and your own powers, glitching things up. It can be hard to even see what's happening. The technical hiccups. Some players have reported sound issues in the demo, otherwise mentioned limited control options like no mouse inversion. These aren't deal breakers, but they need polish before full release. The demo limitations. This isn't one's expected, but the demo does hold back a lot of abilities and variety. It's enough to give you a taste, but you'll want more pretty quickly. If you're wondering what S.E.M.I feels like, think of it as a mashup. It's got the unpredictability of Binding of Isaac, the co-op madness of Overcooked, and a bit of the trippy aesthetic of We Happy Few. But it's not a clone. It really does its own thing by making side effects the main mechanic. That uniqueness is what sets it apart from other roguelikes. And compared to straight bullet hell games, S.E.M.I isn't just about dodging and shooting, it's about adapting to bizarre handicaps that keep stacking up. That twists is what could give it staying power. So, is the demo worth playing? Absolutely. It's free, it's weird, and it gives you a solid sense of what the full game could be. It's not perfect, it needs balancing, bug fixes, and more variety, but that's the point of a demo. What it does nail is the core idea, chaos as a gameplay, and honestly, it's fun. If the devs stick the landing in November and expand the roster of side effects, hazards, and customization S.E.M.I side effects may include, could be one of those cult hit indies people talk about for years. It's the kind of game you play, laugh, get mad at, and then immediately queue up for another run. And that's my full review of the S.E.M.I demo. What do you think? Would you inject yourself mid-fight for a chance at power? Or play it safe and probably lose? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, and if you're new here, subscribe to PatchSlap for more indie game reviews, hidden gems, and first impressions. I've got a bunch more demos and full releases lined up, so stick around. Until next time, stay unpredictable, embrace the chaos, and I'll catch you in the next one.